Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the 10th Annual Israel Film Center Festival. My name is Isaac Zablocki. I'm the Director of Film Programs here at the Marlene Meyerson JCC Manhattan. And we're really excited to have you here in person. This is really noteworthy. The Israel Film Center has been around for 15 years, showing fabulous Israeli films, and finally the rest of the world has caught up and has realized that Israeli cinema is the place to be. So we see it as mission accomplished, and I want to give a big shout out to our founder, Carole Zabar, who's here with us tonight. Thank you, Carole. We are so grateful to everyone who makes this event possible. A huge, huge thank you to all of our partners, and I specifically want to highlight tonight IAC, American Israel Council, and I want to bring up Amir Richovsky. It was a ch, not a ch, who is an IAC council member, to say a few words.
So thank you very much, Isaac. I won't take too long of your time. The IC is a great organization. I've been part of the IC in the past 5 years, 6 years, and no matter who you are, Israeli, American, Jewish American, however you're describing yourself, you can find a place in the IC. We have programs from small ages until very mature ages, and wherever you are, you can find whatever you want to do with the IAC. So thank you for JCC for hosting. Thank you for giving us the opportunity here, and I hope you will enjoy this night. Thank you very much.
I promise you it's our shortest speeches ever. You're getting right to the movie. I do want to thank the amazing team here at the JCC who made this possible. I want to thank Juliet Kleitz, who is here with us tonight and has taken this whole festival on for her first time. Miranda Lee, Yara Kedem is representing us in Israel right now, and of course all of our volunteers and our other supporters, Lauren Stern, Liel Ben David, and everyone else who helped make everything come together. We have a week of fantastic films. You're set for Shavuot. You'll have, for those of you who have the long weekend, take a break from Netflix and watch some great Israeli cinema. These films are so diverse, so different, so specific that you could really, there's something for everyone here, and you can enjoy all of them. Tomorrow here in person, they're available virtual, but you'll know after tonight that you have to see these films in person. We're going to be screening tomorrow the film Promised Lands, Petach Tikva, and The Swimmer, Hasachyan. And then on Friday, we're screening in person the film Hamalka Shoshana, Queen Shoshana, about Shoshana Damari. And then on Saturday night, as part of our Tikkun Shavuot, we're screening Season 2 of The New Black, Shababnikim. So join us for all of those, and if you can't make it in person, join us virtually. Most importantly, tell your friends. I want to thank again all of our partners and give a big shout out to Israel, the Consul General of Israel, AICF, and many, many more who have made this all possible. And of course, Sifriyat Ami, who has been a fabulous partner for all of our festivals here. Don't miss, if this is not enough for you, we have our other Israel Film Festival coming up in November with more fantastic films relating to Israel. Tonight's film, we're jumping right in. Avi Nesher we are here tonight because of Avi Nesher in many ways. Avi Nesher is not only one of the founding voices in Israeli cinema and was one of the first Israeli films to have international success with his film Haleaka, The Troop. Who here has seen Haleaka? Wow. The Troop. We're telling our age here. But that's not what did it. What really did it was Turn Left at the End of the World, Sofa Olam Smola. Anybody see that film? It's only been screened, by the way, here in New York, here at the JCC. We are the only place that screen it. However, in Israel, it was the Titanic of Israel. It broke the box office records, and for the first time, it brought Israelis to Israeli cinema for an Israeli film. And this changed the game completely. Films were now not just being made for film festivals, but were being made for Israelis too, and a lot of those are what you see here at our programs. Avi Nesher has been with us many times and has been Israel's one of the most successful filmmakers. And he cannot make it tonight because he actually started production on his new film today. He was trying, he really was. He was very disappointed. He loves New York. But we do have here two stars of the film. We have Meshi Kleinstein. Meshi, where are you? And Eliana Tidhar. And they're going to be here to discuss this fascinating film right after the screening. So to introduce the film, I could tell you more about the film, but I think best to hear it from Avi Nesher himself. We'll hear from Avi.
Well, first of all, it's really a pleasure to be as close to New York as I've come to be in New York for the last 3 years. I've never heard about the story. Growing up in Israel, this is not a well-known story within Israel. And the producer of the movie, Ehud Bleiberg, came to me with this story. And it's a story about a minor battle, in what we call the War of Independence and what the other side's called the Nakba. And, it's an interesting story unto itself without much military significance. And, since movies about that era in Israel, have changed throughout the years. I mean, there were Exodus and Cast a Giant Shadow, where the Jews were great and the Arabs were villains. And now more recently, the movies about Jews being villains and Arab being, it's of course, it's all nonsense because it's all about human beings who believe in a cause and they do the best they can to survive war. And so I thought, interesting story, but not enough of a reason for a movie. But then I did some research and I found out that this battle was filmed. It was put on camera. We're talking 1948, no cell phones. And I was just wondering, how come somebody shot this battle? And apparently it was shot by a young Egyptian director who was sent to document for an Egyptian newsreel company the triumphant conquest of the Holy Land and the liberations of the Palestinian peasants. And I thought that was so interesting. There was somebody my age, a young filmmaker, present there. And then I tracked down some of those other newsreels, and it was fascinating, and he also kept a journal, which I read some of his writings. And I thought it would be really interesting to tell, two different stories that are derived from one set of facts, which is the tragedy, of course, of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, because everybody is right and everybody is just, and we just have two completely conflicting stories based on one history. And I thought it would be really interesting to tell the story from two different directions, and to do it in the most humane way possible, not to cheer for one side or another.